Hello, welcome. It is officially that time again. My favorite videos of all time to make are TBR Jar videos, and we are just about to the end of spring, which means we need a summer TBR. So I have my TBR jar out. I counted how many prompts I have in here, and I have 12 left. And I'm thinking, do we do them all? Do we finish out the prompts that I have in this jar? Last season, I picked 10 prompts, and I ended up reading 12 books in this season. However, only 3 of them were from my TBR. But I feel like if I have more options on my TBR, I might want to read those more. So we might just do 12 prompts for summer. I want to read more. That is a goal of mine for this season. Before we get started, I want to do a little recap of last season's TBR. I did end up reading 3 books off of that TBR list. The 3 books I read were One True Loves by Elise Bryant. I think this was our purple cover pick for last month. It was an amazing book. I read this book in a video. It was my letting AI pick the books I read. So if you want to see all my thoughts on this book, go check out that. And then I read Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I lent that to my mom, who lives in North Carolina. So I will not be getting that book back anytime soon, but I did read it, and when I get back, I will put it on my red shelf. I'm very excited for that. I actually ended up loving Powerless so much that I bought the rest of the trilogy and the novella. I am currently reading Fearless, and then I will be done with that series, and I'm very excited about that. And last but not least, I read The Heir. That was on my list. I read The Heir and The Crown. So I finished off my selection series, and now this whole box gets to go up on my red shelf. Now I'm super excited to get started on my summer TBR. I feel like summer is just the perfect time to read because, first of all, Utah summers get hot. That's where I live, and I am not wanting to go outside very often in the summer because of how hot it is. So I pick up a lot of indoor activities during the summer, like reading. And it's also super nice because on those cooler days or in the mornings where it's a bit cooler, going outside reading in the sun is also such a nice little motivating start to my day. Summer is just such a great reading season, and I'm excited to see which of these books I get to read in the summer, starting with a yellow cover book. You can't really see that. I swear it says yellow cover. I just wrote it in yellow because I thought that'd be cute. A yellow cover. Obviously, all my yellow covers are up here. That's a really good prompt because I feel like yellow is just such a summer color. So our options are How to Heal Yourself from Depression When No One Else Can, Anxious People, Head Over Heels, Float Plan, Truly Madly Yours, Emma, Way to Be, The Cruel Prince, Heart of the Matter, and First to Die. My first thought is to go with Float Plan because that just feels super summery. Like, look at that cover. But there are some yellow covers that I'm more excited to read and been wanting to get my hands on. Like Anxious People, I have heard such good things about Frederick Bachman and his writing, so I really want to get to Anxious People. And I also feel like How to Heal Yourself from Depression When No One Else Can would be super good for me. Especially lately, I have not been doing well mentally, so maybe that's a sign. Because I was having such a hard time picking a book for yellow cover, I decided to go with the book that has the most yellow on its cover, which is Truly Madly Yours by Rachel Gibson. I have not seen anyone else read this, so I am a little nervous. Oh, very long chapters. Page 206 is chapter 10, so that's a little scary, but the words are big, even though it is a small book. It is the size of my hand. I feel like I am not giving this book enough credit. Just because I haven't seen anyone else read it doesn't mean it's going to be bad. When pretty hairdresser Delaney Shaw returned home to Truly, Idaho for a reading of her stepfather's will, she planned on paying her respects and getting out of town. But it seems the will has some unexpected stipulations, like the one that says if Delaney wants her inheritance, she needs to stay put and have nothing to do with sexy Nick Allegoreza, for an entire year. There's no way. Stop, I'm hating the premise. Like, that does not sound interesting in the slightest. But I feel like it will be a fast read nonetheless. It's small pages, the words are big on the page, and it's only 327 pages or something like that. Next prompt is going to be the shortest book. That I feel like is easy. I think it's Way to Be. Another yellow book. This book is 125 pages. I also have The 5 Love Languages. This book is over 200, so more than Way to Be. Oh, I forgot The Great Gatsby is kind of small. Oh, and there's the Christmas box up here that's just hiding right there. That's probably my shortest, to be honest. But we'll check The Great Gatsby first, which is 159, so more than Way to Be. But the Christmas box by Richard Paul Evans is 87 pages, so less than 100 pages. So this is the shortest book that I own, which means it is the winner, and it will be going on my TBR for the summer. Now, normally getting a Christmas book for summer would not be the vibes, but I'm actually kind of excited to have this book on my TBR because I've been missing my grandma a lot lately. She passed in January, and she's a huge Hallmark girly. Has watched probably every Hallmark movie to date. But she is a huge fan of Christmas in July, which is a thing Hallmark does where it like re-shows all the Christmas movies, but in July. So you get a little Christmas in July. So I'm gonna read this in July for her. This is actually a book that I got off of her bookshelves when she passed. So, oh, I'm gonna cry, sorry. It'll be sweet to do that in remembrance of my grandma. So I'm actually really excited that I get to add this to my TBR. So far, we only have itty bitty books. Like, look how small both of those are. Next prompt, oh, I grabbed two, is a reread. There's only one option, so we are adding to the list Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry. This is his memoir. I listened to this book on audio, and I wanted a physical copy to like annotate it because I really enjoyed this book. I'm a huge Friends lover, if you can't tell, so I really loved reading about his life and the trials he went through. Next prompt is going to be a blue cover. I probably have the most blue covered books. So we have From Here to Here that are my blue books. There's so many options. This one looks like a very summery read, but this I actually got from my sister because she bought it and then didn't think she wanted to read it. So that scares me just a little bit. This book is literally called Something Blue. I mean, does it get better than that? Ooh, The Vacationers feels really summery to me too. The Housemaid by Frida McFadden is one that I want to finish this year because they are making The Housemaid into a movie in December, I think. I think I've convinced myself. I'm gonna add The Housemaid by Frida McFadden because I want to get to this year. Before the movie adaptation comes out, I want to read it. So we're gonna put it on my summer TBR, and then I have my fall TBR if I don't get to it in the summer. Next prompt, we're flying through these. I think I might just do all 12 and just finish off my jar. Book title starts with the. All right, what are our options? We have the Christmas Miracle Box, if I really want to do like a Christmas in July sort of thing. The Swans of Fifth Avenue, The Cruel Prince. I am getting through Powerless right now, and I'm not sure I want to go into another fantasy anytime soon, because honestly, I don't think I'm a fantasy girly. I don't think a story or a world can hold my attention for more than a couple books. I think I'm more of like a quick romance girly. So anyway, I'm not so sure about The Cruel Prince, but it is an option. The Great Gatsby, I've been wanting to read that for a very long time. And it's a short book, which is nice. The Last Bookshop in London, The House Across the Lake, another thriller. The Vacationers, I mentioned that as one of our blue picks. The Fault in Our Stars, I don't know if I want to do that to myself, but it's an option. The Noel Stranger, another Christmas book, and The 5 Love Languages. I think I'm going to pick The Vacationers by Emma Straub because I do want more summary reads than we have on our TBR at the moment. It was a very close call between The Vacationers and The Great Gatsby because I want to read that one so bad, but I'm going with this one right now. I feel like The Great Gatsby would be a really good, like, fall read. The Vacationers feels more summery, so we're gonna go with this one. I don't really know what this book is about, and after reading the back of Madly Truly Yours, I don't want to find out, so we're just gonna add it. Next book prompt: book with a great first line. This prompt is an amazing prompt to get myself excited for the books that I'm not quite excited for. So instead of starting with reading the quotes for the books that I'm excited for, maybe I should start with reading the first line for the books I'm not excited for and see if any of those catch my attention. Whoa, I'm actually confused by this book. What the heck is this? Okay, so my mom gave this book to me because someone got it for her and she already had the book or something like that. This is weird. Okay, hold on. Let me show you. So the first page is this like newspaper article, and then it's almost like a show. This is like the info for the show. All right, it has filming on location in London. New season of Infamous sees British filmmaker revisiting his stepfather's murder, unsolved for 20 years. And then it has each of the people that are, I guess, in the show. And then it's episode 1, filming. And then I've looked through a few pages of the book, and like every page is just like a script. This is so weird. I'm overwhelmed. So this is not going on the TBR. But wow, I had no clue. I thought this was just another mystery thriller. After reading the first line of every single book, we have 12 options. 12 books that had good first lines. They weren't great. None of them really were like, wow. But they were okay. Our options are Shallow Graves, Anxious People, Float Plan, Way to Be, The Cruel Prince, The Great Gatsby, The House Across the Lake, The Fault in Our Stars, The Noel Stranger and Noel Street, 1,000 Heartbeats, and Throne of Glass. And I don't know what to pick. I think I'm going to push back the Richard Paul Evans book. He is a fantastic writer, but I don't want too many Christmas books. I don't think The Fault in Our Stars is going to be one that I want to read this season. So we're pushing that back. I don't think I want to jump into Throne of Glass or The Cruel Prince yet. So those are getting pushed back. Zeus will be joining us because he was getting upset being by himself. So he's just going to be looking over my shoulder for a little bit. Shallow Graves scares me, so I'm going to push that book back. All right, the last 6 options are really good. I would love to read any of them. So I think between these 6, we have to pick which has the greatest first line. So I'm going to read these 6 lines to you. You tell me which one you would choose, and I'll see if I can pick out which is the best line. So for Anxious People, we have a bank robbery. For Float Plan, we have there's a kind of jacked up happiness that comes when you know your life is almost over, when the decision to end it becomes solid. I don't know about you, that gave me chills. Way to Be, there was never a time such as this. The Great Gatsby. In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. Tell me you don't want to know what that advice is. The House Across the Lake. The lake is darker than a coffin with the lid shut. At the same time that Anika was reaching to feel her sword in its hiding place beneath her bed, Lennox was wiping blood from his. We are going to go with Float Plan by Trisha Doller. Next prompt is going to be judge a book by its cover. I love this prompt. That's all I do is judge books by its cover. I don't know what most of these are. Once Upon a Broken Heart is beautiful. I love The Last Bookshop in London. I think that's stunning. So pretty. Oh, Daughter of the Pirate King. That's a pretty cover. I really like this one. None Shall Sleep also has a really cool cover. Travis, oh my gosh, such a beautiful book. 1,000 Heartbeats. Literally stunning. I think for this one I have to give it to Daughter of a Pirate King. I mean, with the reflective blue flecks, the contrast of the red hair, it's such a beautiful cover. I need to peel this sticker off. I did get this signed edition. It was the only edition they had at Barnes & Noble, but cool that it's signed. Sticker off. Now it's even more beautiful. So there we go. Next prompt is a red cover. I'm doing red/pink because personally, it bothers me just a little bit that pink gets his own like color. Like when everyone's like, what's your favorite color? Pink is in the options with red, orange, yellow, blue, green, purple. Pink. You know, like it gets its own color, but it's not its own color. It is a light red. That's what pink is. So I don't understand why pink gets as much hype as the rest of the colors. I don't know what I'm saying, but all at the same time, I'm very passionate about it. So anyway, our red books go from Murder in the Family to Once Upon a Broken Heart. These two are Christmas books, so I probably won't choose those. And honestly, the rest of them scare me. I think the one that scares me the least is Once Upon a Broken Heart. I know I said I didn't want to get into another fantasy so fast, but it's the best of the red book options. So we're gonna go with Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Gerber. Anyway, this is the biggest book going on our TBR for this month. Like if you compare it to the first book we picked, it's massive. We have 8 books picked out so far and 4 papers. So I did count correctly. Let's just do all 12. Why not? Orange cover is up next. What did I say yellow was? I think I made yellow from How to Heal Yourself from Depression When No One Else Can to First to Die by James Patterson. So then what would orange be? If those were my yellow options. I guess these 3 are more of an orangey yellow. I think I'm gonna go with Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I'm so excited. I have wanted to read a Bachman book for forever, and I'm finally getting to. This is kind of orangey. Next prompt. Book with a place in the title. Oh, do we have any of those? There's Swans of Fifth Avenue. I don't know where Fifth Avenue is, but I feel like that could work. Oh, The Last Bookshop in London. Noel Street. I feel like that counts. And maybe Grand Central, because it's Grand Central Station. I think I want to go with Grand Central because this is just a compilation of a bunch of people's stories after post-war and their reunions with their loved ones. I think it would be super cute and easy to read and like a really fun reading outside under a tree sort of book. So we're gonna pick this one. Last 2, we have 10 books on our TBR so far. Oh, this is a long one. Book with a character that has the name of someone I know. After looking through all of my books, we have Emma, First to Die, The Great Gatsby, The Last Bookshop in London, Always Never Yours, None Shall Sleep, and How It Feels to Float. I decided I'm going to go with the book whose name I'm the closest to in real life. So Emma's a good option because I am close to an Emma. Lindsay, that's my aunt. So that's a good option. I don't know who I'm closer to, my aunt or my friend Emma, because I haven't talked to my friend Emma in probably a year. Maybe a little less, but my aunt recently has been like my #1 biggest fan. Like she's so cute. She comments and likes every single one of my TikToks before anyone else does. It's really cute of her. So just for that reason, I think I'm gonna put her above Emma. Oh, this is our Daisy. Same problem here. I haven't talked to Daisy in forever, probably about a year. So I think I'm gonna put that back, even though I really don't want to. I think this is my Grace. Yep, Grace. This person I haven't talked to in years with an S, so this one's definitely going back. Megan. Megan is closer to me than my aunt, so this is going to win ahead of First to Die. Megan's my close friend. She just moved for the summer, so I haven't like seen her, but we text all the time. So far this is the winner. Oh, this is another Emma, so that's going back. And last but not least, we have another Grace, so that's going back too. We are left with Always Never Yours. Don't know what this book is about, and I'm not excited to read it. Moving on to our very last prompt, and then I'll write some more for the next TBR jar video, is my longest book. Okay, the longest book on here, I think that is going to be 1,000 Heartbeats. This book is 560-ish pages, so that's probably the longest. Just looking up here, I don't see any that looks thicker than this book, but I guess we can pull a few down and make sure. Like First to Die might be pretty thick. See, that's only 400 pages. So that's not. And then Emma was my other one that I'm like, it might be more. This is 450. So though these are about the same size, this is a hardback and this is a paperback, therefore this one's bigger. So that was easy. 1,000 Heartbeats. This one I am so excited for. I want to read it. It was on my TBR for last season and I didn't get to it, but hopefully I get to it this summer. And that is it. That is all. We have 12 books on the TBR for this season. I am excited for about half of them. Let's go through all of the books one more time and what their prompt was. We started off with a yellow cover prompt, to which I chose Truly Madly Yours by Rachel Gibson. The shortest book on my bookshelf was The Christmas Box by Richard Paul Evans. Only reread option I had was Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry, so that is our pick for that prompt. Our blue cover pick was The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, so that I make sure I get this done by December when the movie comes out. The book title that starts with the is The Vacationers by Emma Straub. Book with a great first line is Float Plan by Trish Dollar. Judging a book by its cover, I picked Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. My red cover book is going to be Once Upon a Broken Heart. For our orange cover, I chose Anxious People. It was the most orange I could get. Book with a place in the title, Grand Central. Next, we have a book with a character that has the name of someone I know, which will be Megan in Always Never Yours. And last but certainly not least, we have the longest book on my shelf, which is 1,000 Heartbeats by Kiara Cass. Those are the 12 books on my TBR for summer. The goal is to get through 4 of them, which is one more than I got through my spring TBR. But if you want to know how many books I did end up getting to, make sure to check back in for my autumn TBR video. And I have some really fun video ideas planned for summer where we will be reading some of these books. I am very excited for that, so if you are interested, subscribe so you won't miss one of those videos. Thank you so much for watching. I had an amazing time filming this video. I always do, and I hope you had a great time watching. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will see y'all next time. On a drowsy Sunday afternoon, a man in a long dark coat hesitated in front of a house on a tree-lined street. Is this Harry Potter? It is difficult to keep 12 books from falling over